Hello, this is Christy with Punk Rock Sherlock, and we're going to talk about the ongoing Nancy Guthrie case. Now, there's been a new major development in the case. Authorities now reportedly believe her kidnapper may have stemmed from burglary gone wrong. This is according to an article in TMZ. According to AZ Family, citing its source, citing an inside source, Savannah Guthrie's mother is believed to have been abducted during a botched home invasion instead of a carefully planned abduction. Now, I'm curious where they're getting that information from, because we've seen, or I just saw a minute ago, a picture of her back door, and it doesn't look like it was broken into. The front door doesn't look like it's broken into. Nobody has said if any windows have been broken, so I wish they would come and tell us how they actually got into the house. If it wasn't forced entry, she would have let in someone she knows. That's the thought. Okay, what's more, the source also tells the outlet there is belief amongst investigators that Nancy could be alive. I would love for her to be alive. But with this going on as long as it has, with her having no medication with her allegedly and being on a heart monitor, pacemaker rather, signs aren't looking good. Now, they have found some gloves, and they found the DNA is a match for DNA found at her house that was not linked to any of the family members. Now they're going to have to run it through CODIS to see if they can find if there is a match to a known criminal. So that will take some time. The theory comes on the heels of the FBI's announcement that DNA was recovered from a glove found near the scene. The glove appears to be a visually match to the gloves worn by the alleged perpetrator. The masked intruder was caught on a doorbell cam lurking at Nancy's home just before she was abducted on February 1st. The FBI now plans to run DNA through the CODIS database, hopefully to identify a match to any convicted offenders they have. Meanwhile, Savannah shared an emotional plea on Instagram Sunday night, saying she hasn't lost hope and urging whoever has her mother to do the right thing. We can only hope. As for the alleged ransom notes sent to TMZ and other media outlets, investigators have yet to identify the person or persons who wrote them, and no suspects have been named in the case. That's heartbreaking, but they've got a lot of ground to cover. I mean, if it was a accidental death, but if it was a breaking and entering, why would they take her body with them? And we know she was alive when she left because the pacemaker was in communication with her iPhone. So they must have had her take her iPhone off, or she maybe took it off before she went to bed. But she was still alive when she left the house. That much we know. TMZ has received a fourth email from the man claiming to know who kidnapped Nancy and where she is. Now, that's not to say this is the person that kidnapped her. This is just a person who knows who did kidnap her. The email, with the same Bitcoin account as the other three notes, say, in part, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. I don't know why I do it in that voice. But, so here's somebody claiming 5 days ago that Nancy was alive. Again, is this true? Is this an opportunistic person? The notes themselves could be faulty altogether. So I don't know if we should put any faith in these ransom notes that have come up, or these give me Bitcoin and I'll tell you who it is notes. This is the second reference this person has made to being more than one person involved in the purported abduction. In the third letter received by TMZ on Friday, he said, be prepared to go international. Does that mean they're in Mexico now? Does that mean some other country? I would think with them being as close to Mexico as they are, that would be a good way to get out of there. And how are they going to get through customs going through to Mexico with a woman gagged, in the back seat, or is she in the trunk? I don't think I'd put a human in the trunk going through the border patrol. But again, more questions than answers. The man says he has a burglary on his record from 10 years ago, so he's scared to come forward, presumably fearing he'd be implicated. So he's of great character, as we know already, this person that sent the notes. He is again demanding $50,000 in Bitcoin up front in return for the information. So this is just for information. If the individual who's writing these letters is reading this is TMZ. If you are for real, send us the information regarding the whereabouts of Nancy and her kidnappers. We will immediately forward the information to the FBI. If it leads to finding Nancy and or the kidnappers, then you then have a public record that you are the one responsible, thus ensuring you will get the reward. The FBI is aware we are making this overture. So let's get back to this. Let's go to the timeline, because I'm still stuck on this timeline. So on that Sunday night, 5:32, or was it a Saturday night, the January 31st, 5:32, Nancy takes an Uber to Annie's house, which is the daughter. 9:48, Nancy is dropped off at her home by a Guthrie, but they don't say which Guthrie does it. The garage door opens and then closes about 2 minutes later. At 1:47 a.m., that's February 1st now, doorbell cam is disconnected. We see the video of that happening. We see the still images of that happening. At 2:12, the camera software detects motion. At 2:28, her pacemaker is disconnected from her phone. So you're talking roughly 40-some minutes that person is on the property. So for 40 minutes, they're either trying to get in. What do they do once they get in? They haven't said if anything was reported stolen. It didn't look like it. Why a kidnapping? Like, if you were there just to rob the place, why would you take a witness unless she could identify him? This is all in my opinion. Like this, the glove found nearly 2 miles from her house, found to contain DNA. It matches the person who was at the door. And again, no forced entry. That's what gets me. They've not said whether or not there was forced entry or not, but according to the pictures, it doesn't look like there was, at least from what we can see. And why take her is the question. If it was a robbery, unless she could identify me, why would you take her? If it was an abduction, why hasn't there been a proof of life, you know? I mean, why go to all this trouble and for what? And the ransom notes. So the notes I'm not familiar with, so I'm not sure what was all in them. But these 4 letters that have gone to TMZ, I think via email, claiming to know information about it. Well, why wouldn't you go to FBI? Why are you trying to extort the family? That leads me to believe this guy may be a little shady and may not be involved or know who did it to begin with. They may just be opportunistic. If you haven't already, a good YouTube page I like to go to is The Interview Room. These are some retired or former police officers, former law enforcement. Some of them are some really good specialists. Chris, he runs that page. And they have some really great theories and really great, ideas of what could or couldn't have happened. I mean, no more than what I'm telling you here, but still, that's a good one to go to. Well, stay tuned. I'm following this because I'm very interested in what is going on. The Interview Room, they cover a lot of like Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers, which I've been covering and been very interested in as well. So thank you for watching this clip. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps my channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for watching. Come back and see me again.